Meet Charisse Bantiling, a successful interior designer who forged her own path outside her family's successful business in the interior design industry. Join us as she shares her story on courage and perseverance on how she established her own interior design firm and building her own name and brand in the interior design industry. Hi, how are you, Charisse?
Hi, good, thank you.
Okay, thank you for allowing us to have you as our guest in this episode. I'm curious to know what inspired you to forge your own path outside your family business, since your family business already runs in the interior design company, right? So what inspired you to forge your own path in the same industry?
Yeah, well, the family's business is within built and construction side, the infrastructure in general. And I think my calling really since I was fourth grade was to be an interior designer, leaning towards interior and architecture. So always it's going to be something that's going to call me back. Mm-hmm. And at some point I know that I'm going to keep looking and searching for that creative side of me. But it wasn't as bad at all that having to work for the family business, because I needed that foundation. Mm-hmm. So I would be able to balance being creative and also the practical and technical side of the built environment, which created and given me a different perspective into my approach in designs.
Okay. So what were the biggest obstacles you faced in establishing yourself in the interior design industry? How did you overcome them?
Biggest obstacle, I guess, was being in a highly competitive industry. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of freelancers and very talented local designers and firms. Plus, being in the industry where I'm at, where I do lots of workplaces and commercial spaces, you go against global design firms. So I'd say that. But I guess what made me flourish in this field was because I had my own unique perspective in the way I approach things, being very, very data-driven, focused on human-centric approach. So I was able to create something unique for myself and my design firm, which allowed us to stand out in this industry.
Mm-hmm. But during the time before you forged your own path and having your own interior design company, you still worked for the family company, right?
It was, yes, and it's a bit of a mix, because while I was working as a consultant for the business here locally, and that was during the time of the pandemic, I was also working as a consultant in Australia. Mm-hmm. So I did work for a developer there as well, one of the biggest developers, as their workplace strategy consultant, which was a good marry of all these things, plus my experience in the construction and my passion for creativity, because I was able to create a unique perspective which I was able to bring forth towards my own firm.
Mm-hmm. And then when you decide that you wanted to put up your own firm, how did your family or your parents react to that?
Oh, they were slightly surprised, because they thought after my master's I'd probably head home and go straight back to the business. But I guess being able to experience and spending a lot of time in Australia allowed me to see different things and different perspectives. More than anything, I'm 100% sure they were very happy and so proud of me, and they were very ecstatic about my new journey and just being able to create something that's for myself, which is also still connected to the business. So they're very happy about it.
That's good. At least you work hand in hand as well with your build and design company, which is a family business. So this interior design company that you have, this focuses more on like residential, or how do you describe your firm?
Yeah, well, we focus essentially on workplace strategy, interior and architecture for commercial spaces. That's our very that's pretty much our focus. But then slowly now, I'm not really, well, nothing against residential projects, but maybe because my exposure and my experiences are mostly towards commercial. But now I'm starting to bring in these residential projects. I guess for selective clients, just as long as we align the same vision and how we approach the design, I think, and we resonate in the same at the same perspective, I guess I'd take it. But the firm focuses mostly on commercial, which is workplaces, essentially that, and retail shops.
Okay.
And yeah, those multinational clients that are looking into setting up a business here.
But are you also open to designing for home?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm currently doing 2 residential homes actually.
Oh, nice.
One in Laguna and one in Cavite. And it's such an exciting project because the themes are very creative. One is slightly a marry of my Australian background and experience to the Filipino design, and the other one is a little bit of Spanish colonial themed residential, which is a nice touch as well, bringing me closer to my Filipino roots, and it's a special project.
Oh, that's good. At least you've expanded your service from office, commercial to residential. So what would be your style like as an interior designer?
Honestly, every time I'm asked about these questions, I don't specifically have a certain style as a designer because I always take it into account that these spaces aren't mine and I'm just an interpreter of my clients. So I make sure that the style is what they wanted because it's either their home or it's their office. It should align to what they hope for in their spaces. But personally, I guess being that I travel often back and forth, or maybe because I'm getting old, I'm aging, my style changed from maximalist to something more minimalist. I wanted few pieces that are very stylish and would stand the test of time, very classic very classic pieces. That into minimal architecture is probably where I'm going at this time.
Okay. But in the interior design industry, can you share with us the challenges that that you're facing as a woman in this particular field of interior design? What are the challenges?
Yeah. Well, one, I guess I've got 2 things. One is running a business as a woman. There's still a lot of stereotypes and biases about it, but I guess in Philippines, we've come a long way in how we manage this environment to be a safe space for women. But then there's still a lot of areas where they feel like there's no confidence in women in making decisions, big decisions. Yeah, so I guess there's 2 things. It's running a business as a woman, holding the leadership positions, because you make a lot of big decisions, and not just big, they're tough decisions, which involves the business side, finances, and also employee side. There's not much support yet, but there's a greater movement towards it for Filipino legislative members. The other one would be there's still a lot of stereotypes and biases within the construction side, because our design not just only ends after us creating them in 3D models and 3D renders, but we have to implement it as well. So us looking like this in a construction site, in a field work, is something still unusual and new for some men on site. There's still a little bit of fears having to go, especially if it's an infrastructure project for us. But I guess what I've learned in my time in our family business, we've created an environment, community where women are welcome to select which kind of roles they wanted to be in position with. We've got engineers in construction. We've got actually men in design and creative fields. So there's just a lot of diversity and inclusivity in it. And yeah, it's still a work in progress, but I think as long as we've moved towards it, it's still a progress.
That's good. At least you're able to thrive in that industry we're in. In a way, it's somehow male-dominated industry because of the after service of this. Like after the design, the execution would be like you'll be managing male as well.
Yeah, because you have to make sure the design not just stays on paper, and you have to make sure it goes in actual. So you still have to go to the site, and you still have to have confidence in discussing these things with workers and project engineers, whether male or female. But yeah, there's still a lot of biases in it, and it's just something that women in this industry still struggle about.
But despite these challenges, like when you started this company, was there a time in your life that you were like, oh, I should just go back, I'm just so tired, I can't manage this anymore? Was there a time that you felt that, or what was your mindset when you started this business?
Oh yeah. Up until now, I tell you, now I'm like, oh my gosh, am I in the right place? Did I make a wrong decision? Well, in the beginning, it's all excitement. It's because it's the phase where you visualize things and you created all these ideas in your head. It's easy to have this idea, but what the biggest challenge is making sure you implement it properly and you really implement it. It doesn't just stay as an idea. I think for me, I thought in the beginning, it's just going to be me designing. I mean, this is what I'm passionate about and what I enjoy the most. But then as a business owner, you have to take into account the business side of things, which comes with finances, HR side, admin side. You have to consider the people, and you have to also make sure your clients are very happy, even if it doesn't align with what's happening internally. So you have to marry all these things and find that balancing act to it. But it's fun. It's too early for me to say I'm giving up on it, and so far it's been good.
When did you start the company?
Oh, it's very new. It's just been a year now. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
And thank you so much. And from within this year, we've grown to a 10.
Oh wow, galing.
This quick. I wasn't expecting it truly. I thought I'm just going to be cruising for the rest of the first year, trying to understand and navigate this environment, being a business owner and having to do the design and also, that sales side and the other sides of the business. But it's been a truly exciting time, and there's a lot of opportunities and such exciting things to happen for sure in the future.
That's good, and I wish that this business will we have more clients, be more successful, get more projects.
Thank you.
How do you balance, how do you oversee your work here and in Australia, since you mentioned that you're also based in Australia, but you have a company here? So can you give us an overview? Can you share with us how do you oversee the operations of your company here in the Philippines and in Australia?
Yeah, well, for one, everything within our operations is run by cloud. So our data is already uploaded in cloud, and it's easy for us to manage things even if my people are here and my projects are in Australia and vice versa, because everything is cloud-based. And they're all working wherever they needed to be. Say they be on the site in Australia or in Philippines, and all that. It's a very hybrid setup for us. The other thing is, which is what I'm very proud of, I've already grown to trust my team. I was able to let go of the control and learn to trust my team from Australia and my team from Philippines to be able to do their job well. I don't micromanage. I only have my KPIs.
Okay.
So they give me what their activities are for the week. I don't even look at it consistently. All I know is through this technology that I have in our system, I'm able to track their successes and their accomplishments and their challenges and what needs to be accomplished the following week, which allows me to move in both countries and move wherever and still be able to manage the whole operations of the business.
That's good. Because without this software, without this technology, it will be really difficult.
It will be difficult, true.
Trace, what advice can you give to women, our viewers right now, who has the same situation as yours, that they have their own family business and they want to thrive on their own, but they just can't leave their family business because they are so scared of like what their parents are gonna say, if they're gonna support their decision of having their own business outside their family business. So what advice can you give?
I guess lean on to what you're very passionate about. Your family will always be there. Bring that values in as you drive where you want to go. Nothing beats doing something that truly lights you up. It's just gonna bring so much success because you're doing something that you really love to do. And also in a world full of following trends, following what naturally is expected of you, we needed a little bit of our uniqueness to be able to bring forth, and that's just something any little girls would want to see the grown-ups and be inspired with, that you've taken a risk, you've followed your true calling, your passion, and that you were able to become successful of it.
All right. Thank you, Therese.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. And to all our viewers, I hope that you were inspired by Therese's story and her advice. Like what she said, pursue your passions, pursue your goals. Whatever it takes, your family will always be there to support you. And do not be afraid to stand out and be unique. Alright, so I want to hear your thoughts. Please comment down below if you like this episode. And please don't forget to share this with your friends as well. Bye!